So this week we're looking at Latin America in the contemporary era, and a lot of our focus is going to be on Latin America since World War II. So we're going to start by looking at the Latin American economies. And one of the problems that continued in pretty much all parts of Latin America was that economic dependency. And so during World War I, many Latin American economies actually benefited because of the huge increase in demand for exports throughout the war. And so a lot of their economies kind of surged during World War I. Well, during that interwar period, and especially the Great Depression, as the demand for exports fell, well, their economies declined as well. And it's during that Great Depression period that we're going to see some Latin American countries begin to seek out things like fascism or socialism because their existing governments were now associated with these failures. Well, then during World War II, once again, the economies kind of benefited. Also, many parts of Latin America are going to play a role in World War II. Some tried to stay out of it and keep their neutrality, but one of the most important roles that Latin America played in World War II was, again, exporting raw materials, mostly to the Allies, throughout the war. But even after World War II, this problem of economic dependency is going to continue. And most parts of Latin America failed to develop their own industries. And so their economies remain dependent on the export of either a few raw materials or maybe some cash crops, especially coffee. And their entire economy revolved around those export cash crops. And so they had to rely on Western nations, especially the United States, but also Western Europe as well, to import most of their manufactured goods. Another growing problem we're going to see throughout many parts of Latin America is the increased role of the military in their governments. And so we're going to start by looking at Mexico and some of the problems that they face. So Mexico is going to be dominated by these conservative governments after World War II, and specifically by the rise of the Institutional Revolutionary Party, or better known as the PRI. They're going to take power in the 1930s, and especially starting in 1940, and basically create a one-party system, a one-party system where the only party you could vote for was their candidate. And from 1940 all the way through the 1990s, the PRI dominated Mexico's government. And it wasn't until the year 2000 that they actually had open free elections. You have the creation of the Democratic Revolutionary Party that forms, and they begin to challenge the unfair system. And then Vicente Fox is going to win for the National Action Party in the year 2000. And he's going to win by attacking corruption and also trying to improve conditions, especially for the working classes of Mexico. And not only did the National Action Party win in the year 2000, but they're also going to win in 2006 as well. And so from the year 2000 on, Mexico has started to have open, free elections.